So let us recap of what we have learned till now in the last three sessions. Let us recap and then let us proceed with the next sessions. So in the first session, we have discussed about PEGA decisioning. So basically what we are doing in PEGA decisioning, we are actually identifying the next best action, which is nothing but the right offer to the right customer at right time. That is nothing but the PEGA decisioning. So then we have the PEGA marketing, which is nothing but the delivering the next best action. So which is the same thing, right offer to the right customer at right time. So the difference here is PEGA decisioning contains the features which will allow you to identify what is the next best action for a customer, but PEGA marketing will deliver that next best action to the customer. So then in PEGA marketing, we have seen inbound marketing, where customer is contacting the business. Outbound marketing, the business is only contacting the customers, right? So then we have seen the CDH portal, Prediction Studio, and we have seen the NBA Advisor. So CDH is the portal which we are going to learn throughout our entire course, which is the Customer Decision Hub. So then we started with environment preparation. So as part of environment preparation, we need to set few services, that is ADM, DDS, RTDG, real time, stream. Okay, all these services we need to enable in the setDNV.bat file, right? That's what we have seen. So then you need to verify in the admin studio and you need to verify in the dev studio. So that is what we have seen in the environment preparation part. So then we understood what is context. It's nothing but the targeted audience. This context is divided into primary context, secondary context. So then we also have the associated data. So you will be able to create associated data using association rules. Okay, so which is nothing but whatever the primary context existing information, like the existing accounts, existing credit cards, all these things. Same way for every context you will have the associated data. So you need to have a common column between that particular context class and the associated data class. For example, primary context is customers or etc, leads, etc. So secondary context you can keep, for example, social media users, mobile app downloaded users, etc. So different types of users will be there to whom you actually promote the products and services. So then yesterday, day before yesterday, we started with this business taxonomy, which contains business issue, which is nothing but what? The purpose of the promotion. Like what is the goal of your promotion? I want to increase the sales. I want to increase the uh, revenue. I want to retain the customers. Okay, so like we have sales, retention, maintenance, like the different goals are there in order to promote. Then the business group, which is the category of the promotion. For example, you are promoting a laptops is a category. You are promoting some uh, credit card, then you have the credit card as a category. So then finally we have the proposition, which is nothing but the promotion itself. So whatever you promote, it can be a product, it can be a service, it can be some discount, it can be a coupon, anything that you promote to the customers, that is called as a proposition. Whatever you promote to the customers, that is called as a proposition, right? So simply you give the name as anything that you propose to the customer is called as a proposition. So we say propose because we are expecting some response, whether the customer is accepting that, customer is rejecting that, we are expecting some response to the promotion that you are doing. That is the reason we call it as a proposition. So this is what we have seen till now. Any questions or any confusion or any queries still here for any one of you, or is it clear for everyone? whatever we discussed till now.
So Harsha, the what do we call the association can be between primary context and the secondary context also, correct? Like what we
Yes,
see
correct.
between customers and accounts.
Yes, yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it can be between any contexts, correct. Okay, so now let us go with the next part. So, on the day, we have started with creating a new business taxonomy. The business taxonomy can be created under decisions, proposition management. So, let us create the taxonomy and we'll see the next topics today. So, for example, we created something called sales. Sales is the business issue, which is nothing but the goal of the promotion is sales, right? Then under sales, what category you are increasing the sales? I want to increase the sales of credit cards, personal loans. So those are my categories. So that is how you need to design the business issues, business groups, and propositions. For example, if you see here, I have retain. That means the goal is to retain the customers from unsubscribing. So that is a goal. Same way, I want to acquire. So acquire is the business issue. So I'm just going here, add new business issue. So I'm saying sales. Okay. So then I'm saying here rule set and click on the create button. Okay. So we have created one business issue. Then under that we are creating one business group. Let us say I'm creating something called credit cards. And we have seen the version proposition, right? Version proposition means, like I told you, we can create a versions of the propositions. So for example, I am creating in 01. So today I'm saying the credit card price is some $10. Tomorrow when I want to update that, I can save as to 02 and I can update it. So that is a version proposition data. So I'm creating something called credit cards. Okay, okay, so now we have the same thing. Under sales I have credit cards. Okay, under sales I have credit cards. So all right. So we have seen creating certain credit cards right on the day. So that is the same procedure. Now what we will do, we'll just go with the existing one, which is this one. So I'm going to the grow and credit cards. So what I have here is I have some four propositions are there. Okay, this is my business issue. Grow. Under grow, I have credit cards. Under credit cards, I have four propositions. Okay, I have four propositions. So let us start with this four propositions now. Okay. So what we will do now is we will just start updating the properties also. So that's what we'll be learning now. So we have seen that we have the business issue, that is a grow. Business group is credit cards, what we are promoting, and we have four propositions. Now under the propositions, we have something called attributes. Okay, so we have something called attributes. So what are attributes? Attributes are nothing but the characteristics of the proposition. So the characteristics of the proposition are called as attributes. So simply to say, for example, you are promoting a credit card. So what attributes it will have? For example, something like what is the monthly EMI of the credit card? What is the starting fee of the credit card? Okay, and what are the benefits of that credit card, what is the expiry date, is there any expiry date of the credit card. So all these are nothing but the attributes under that. So just we have the structure like this. Grow, this is our goal or purpose of promotion. Under the goal you have credit cards, which is nothing but the category of promotion. Then under the credit cards we have standard card, right? So that's what one of the credit card that we have, standard card, credit card that we are promoting. So under that we have our attributes. So let us start creating those attributes. So what I'm doing, I'm just clicking on the checkout button. Okay, I'm just creating one checkout button. So I'm going to the form tab. So what you need to do is, in order to create the properties, so you need to go to the form tab. Then you need to add the field here. Okay, click on the add field button. Okay, so let us start creating some properties. What we will do is, we'll say credit card fee. Okay, I'll say credit card monthly fee. Remember, I am creating this property in the credit cards group. So I'll tell you the structure, class structure, how it will be. That also I'll tell you. But I'm saying credit card monthly fee. That is the value that I'm taking. So I'm just keeping it in the rule set. So I'll just tell you quickly what things you need to keep in which rule set. Okay. So just a minute. Okay, 1 minute. Okay. So we have created our application using the PEGA CDH setup wizard, right? So what we have seen the CDH application is created using the setup wizard. So through that setup wizard only, all these rule sets got created. Okay. So one is the artifacts rule set. So let us see that. So the application by default this rule sets will be created. So we will see what is the purpose of this rule set. So the first rule set is artifacts rule set. The format will be your application name dash artifacts. So that is how it will be. So what is the purpose of this rule set? See, whenever we actually configure some features in CDH portal, few rules will be auto generated in the background. So those auto generated rules can be stored in artifacts rules rule set. Store the auto generated rules in artifacts rule set. So in CDH portal, that is in the customer decision hub portal, we will be configuring certain features, certain configuration we'll be doing. So when you are doing all those things, some rules will be created, auto generated. Those rules will be automatically stored into artifacts rule set. That is the main purpose of having artifacts rule set, which is to store the auto generated rules, and it has to store the auto generated rules, right? So in order to do that, we have to keep the latest version of this rule set every time unlocked. Okay, so we have to keep the latest version of this rule set unlocked every time. So that is the next thing that you need to do. Because if you lock the rule set, then you will be getting the error that unable to generate the rule, right? So you will create some feature, and in the backend, the auto generated rule will be created. So in every project, in real time projects also, you need to make sure that the latest version is always unlocked. So since the latest version is always unlocked, it will also act like a production rule set. For example, in the production, you got some blocker, you got some issue. So you need to fix it immediately. So we cannot go with all the deployment and all those things, right? It will take some time. So you can directly keep that rule in the artifacts rule set because it is always unlocked. This rule will always be unlocked. At least the latest version will be always unlocked. Okay, so that you can keep your changes directly in the production also. So it will act like a production rule set also. And apart from this, you will also keep the strategies, segments, few rules in this rule set. I'll tell you which rules. Okay, clear on this rule set? Okay. So then the next rule set that will be automatically created is the NBAD tests rule set. Okay, so the next rule set which will be automatically created is the NBAD test rule set, which is next best action designer. Okay, next best action designer rule set. So I told you, right, what is next best action? That is a right offer to the right customer at right time. So the rule set name is NBAD tests. So what is this NBAD tests means? This rule set is used to store the testing rules and test cases. For example, you have configured one strategy. You want to test that strategy with some hard coded data. So that testing related rules which are there, right, in PEGA decisioning, all those you will be keeping it in NBAD test rule set. For some testing purpose, you created something, you can keep that here. This no need to deploy this to the higher versions because all the things that are there here are only test cases and testing related rules which you created, that you need to keep it in NBAD tests. Then all the remaining things you already know. Any rules you will be keeping it in CDX rules, like your properties and all those things like data types, data transforms, everything you can keep it in rules rule set. But the main two rule sets which will be automatically created are artifacts rule set, which is used to store auto generated rules, and like a production rule set. NBAD test rule set we store for some testing related rules and test cases. Then there is one more rule set also which is there, which is this one. This is the rule set for operations manager. That means whenever you are working on operations manager related requirement, those rules you need to keep it in this rule set, this first one. If you are not installed operations manager, then this rule set will not be there. Since this application is having operations manager, that's the reason it is there. Starting from 8.8, every serious application will have operations manager. By default, it will be there. So when we are discussing about that topic, we will be seeing this also. Okay, but these are the three rule sets which we are going to use in our CDH projects. Clear till here? Any questions? Clear on this three rule sets? That is the operations manager rule set, artifacts rule set, and NBAD tests. Yes, no.
Yes.
Okay. So now let us proceed with the next thing that we are discussing about the properties, right? So I'm going here. So I'm going to this credit cards. What I'm doing is I'm creating a new property. I'm creating certain properties here. So what I'm creating something called credit card monthly fee. So that's what I'm creating here. So basically these properties are nothing but like a characteristics of your proposition. For example, you are promoting laptop. So that means you are saying grow laptops. Okay, grow laptops. In the laptops, you will have some fields, right? Like for example, the make of the laptop, the model of the laptop, right? So you will create properties like that: make, model, price, laptop price. So these kind of properties you will be creating in the laptop group. Okay, so that's what you do. So you'll just create one more property. Let us call it as expiry date, something like that. Okay, not expiry date. We'll take something else. So we'll call something like monthly EMI, something like that. Okay, so that's what we are calling. See again, all these I'm taking related to credit card, but in the exercise you will be getting related to your project. And this exercise will be given only to the people who have enrolled. So if you have enrolled, then you will be getting the exercise. So not for everyone, so please make sure that you enroll as soon as possible. So I'm keeping this property as a decimal value. Let me plug the charger. Okay, so I'm keeping this property as a decimal value. So that is what I'm doing here, which is a monthly EMI. Okay, so that is a monthly EMI. So these two properties I have created for this particular group. So then what you need to do, if you go to the data and if you open the proposition, you can see every proposition will have these properties. Okay, so what I have done, I have created the properties, two properties I created: monthly EMI and credit card starting fee. So when you open the proposition, you can see the values, right? It will ask for this data. It will ask for this data now. So for example, I'll just start adding some attributes for this. So this is the proposition which I want to promote to the customers, which is standard card, and this is the characteristics of that. So I'm just giving like monthly fee as some $50. I'm giving the monthly EMI as some 1,000 rupees or $1,000, whatever. Just some random values. Same way, let us update the characteristics for all the propositions. So I'm keeping this as some 100. Monthly EMI I'm keeping some 6,000. Okay, so this I'm keeping like $50 as some, and monthly EMI I'm keeping like 3,000 something. Okay, whatever it's dollars and all that you can decide. So rewards card I'm keeping like 10, and monthly I'm keeping like 20,000. Just some random values I'm keeping. That's it. So this is how you will add the fields and add the characteristics of your proposition. So for any proposition, right? For example, you are promoting a T-shirt. The T-shirt will have some characteristics like the T-shirt color, the T-shirt price, the T-shirt size. So those properties you need to create it in the form tab. So in the form tab, you need to add the fields. So all this you will get as a requirement. So that requirement, based on that, you will add the fields. Okay, so then once you added the field here, then you can update the propositions. Just open one by one and you can update the values. Clear till here? Any questions?
So Harsha, there are few more properties by default created by the system, right? When we
Right, right, right.
import certain things.
Yes.
Why don't we see those properties under reward card?
So
All these
they are set
propositions.
as hidden internally by the system.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah. Okay, so now we have created these two fields, which is the credit card starting fee and monthly EMI.
So Harsha,
Okay. Yeah.
this is Naveen.
Yeah.
I have a question. Like, if you have a combination, like as you said, the T-shirt, if you specify, right, it has a three sizes. Okay.
Yeah.
So do we need to create three prepositions for the different combinations, or like, or we have any?
So sorry, repeat again, please.
I mean to say, like, if, for example, if you take the T-shirt, okay,
Mhm.
and the size of the property, okay, the size is the property, and it has three values in that. Like, we have multiple options, right? The small, medium, and large size. Okay,
Mhm.
for okay, the same price will be the same. I mean to say, but if we have the three combinations, okay, so do
Mhm.
we need to create three prepositions separately, or like, do we have any the permutations and combinations part? Yeah,
Right.
anywhere we
Yeah,
can
good
handle.
question actually. So see, we have something same thing here in PEGA CDH. So we have to create, of course, we have to create a separate proposition, but we also have an option to specify the variant. In the actions tab, we have that option. So if you see this particular action, for example, I'm just opening this again. I'll tell you what is action and all those things later. Because if it is a single product, definitely you have to create a proposition for each product. So even you have a different size of that product, it's a separate product again. So you have this option given, that is variant. So for example, if you are creating three t-shirts, t-shirt XL, L, and small, you have to create three separate propositions, but in the variant you will specify the value. Okay, like it is, one is XL, one is L, and one is S, like that. But for each product you have to create a each proposition. That means I say, like for example, each unique product, right? You have some 10,000 XL products, 10,000 XL t-shirts, only one product will be there. But XL t-shirts is different and L t-shirts are different, right? So you have to create a separate proposition for each of them.
So
Okay,
it's like a
so for
flat
each unique
file.
product proposition you have to do. Sorry?
It's like a flat. I mean to say, like if the color combination is there, color variant is there, and
Yes, yes, you have
what you
to.
call size variant, everything we have to create a unique
Yes,
proposition.
correct. So the same t-shirt, same make, same model, but they have like three colors. Okay, white, yellow, pink, like that. So you have to create a separate propositions for each of them. Okay, if
Okay.
it is a unique product, definitely you have to create a separate proposition.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
but the same thing, like for example, white t-shirt is having some 10,000 copies are there. So you'll have only one proposition, not 10,000. That is the thing. Okay,
you. Okay.
so that's how you have to define the proposition.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, one question. Proposition actions both are same or
No, no,
like
there is a slight difference is there. Both are same, but there is a slight difference. Yeah, we'll tell you what is the difference.
okay, okay,
Yeah. So the action is for sending to the customers. Okay, propositions cannot be sent to the customer. This scope is only till PEGA decisioning. Okay, so that means if
Mhm.
you create a proposition without action, then there is no use. Only thing that you can do is to identify what we need to send. But when you have the action, then only you can send to the customer. That is how the PEGA decisioning has been defined. Okay, we'll see clear difference and all that, how to do, we'll see that later.
Okay.
Okay, so now we have this four propositions are there. So let us go ahead, and what we will do is, yeah. So now you might be getting one doubt. For example, see again, there are some four propositions are there. You have done one by one each. But if there are some 10,000 propositions or 500 or 1,000 propositions are there, you can still export this. For example, you can do like export here, and I can open this, and I can update this. That also you can do in order to update in bulk. So same like a data type, right? In data type also you can export, right? Multiple records. Same thing we are doing here. So if you export, you can clearly see the property for this particular business taxonomy. So please remember this property name, very important. So the business issue is present under PY issue. So I'm just making a note here also. The business issue is present under PY issue property. That is a property name in the backend in the clipboard. That's where the values will be present. The business group, okay, the business group, which is nothing but the category of the promotion, that is present under PY group. Then the proposition that you are promoting, whatever the credit card, the service, the coupon, anything that you propose to the customer is the proposition, right? That proposition is present under PY name. Most of the properties are PY properties only. 99% of them are PY properties only. So simply, if you forgot also, you can remember by just appending PY. So this is present in PY issue property. This is present in PY group property, and this is present in PY name. Okay. So these are the properties. So that's what you are doing here. You see the group. This is where you have the PY issue. For example, I will add some new line. I'll just update here itself. That means I'll add a new row here in order to add a new proposition. Okay, see this value, all these are OTP properties which we will discuss later. And if you scroll to the right side, here you have you see this, we have the PY name. PY name is the proposition name. Okay, PY name is the proposition name. So this is a newly added row. I'm adding a new proposition. Let us call it as Visa credit card. Okay, and if you scroll to the right side, we have here the PY group. You see, the PY group is same, so we don't need to modify that, right? PY group is same, we don't need to modify that because we are updating the same group. And here we have something called benefits that also we will modify. So benefits is nothing but, so what purpose of this? What are the advantages of this offer? So I'll just say some uh, free flight tickets every year, like that I'm keeping. Okay, 20% off on selected restaurants. Just some random description I'm giving here. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Okay, so like this you can update the existing records or you can add a new record. Okay, all these things you can do. So all these things we used to do in the real time also. In the real time also, if you are not using operations manager and then you need to create something, what you will be doing is the business will send you all the file like this. They will send you the file like this. You need to just simply import this file to the here in the group. That's what you have to do. Okay, so because this is how you do bulk and this is how you do fast when you have hundreds of propositions. Okay, so they will sell you the Excel file and you can import that to the PEGA. That's what you do. So let us do the same thing. I have updated one new record, so I'll just go to the import. Okay, so I'll just stop sharing for a second while I upload. Okay, so I just selected the file. Okay, I just selected the file, so whatever the file I have taken. Okay, it is saying it's 1 minute. Yeah, so let us that's not, I think not say. Just a minute, I'll just stop sharing and again upload it. Okay, so if you see now, we have imported the new record. You see now we have added. So now it is I have saved it correctly, and you see there are 5 records in the file. I have added 1 record and modified 4 records. That's what it's saying. So when I click on save, you can see that new record is added, new proposition is added, right? So new proposition has been added. So this is how you can update it in bulk. So basically in the propositions, you can export the file, you can update the file in the Excel sheet itself, and you can directly import it here. Same like data types, same like data types. That is how you do in real time also. In real time, the business will share you the file and they will tell you all these are the details. Whatever extra columns are there, you will delete those and you will upload it to the decision data. That's what you do. So now coming to the one more thing, which is the the properties, right, which we discussed. The proposition name is present in PY name. This is the PY name. This is the PY issue, which is the business issue. PY group. This is a PY issue. This is a PY group. Remember the properties. PY name, PY issue, PY group. That is what you need to remember. So now coming to the next thing, we can also define the propositions for a certain time period also. For example, let us say I am promoting a 50% discount on laptop. That is what I am promoting, and this discount is applicable only during the Christmas season. That is from December 25th to 1st January. So whenever you are creating a proposition, right? For example, when you click on the proposition, here there are three options. Always active, that means this will be always enabled. Never, that means this will be always disabled. That means you cannot promote this to the customer. Okay. Then we have this third option that is called within a defined time period. So now whatever the credit card that we are promoting to the customers, we can also define during a particular time period. So for example, I can keep something like, you see, like December 25th I am keeping, and the end date I am keeping it as, let us say January. Okay, I am keeping the end date as January 2025 first. So that means only during this particular time period only this proposition will be active. All the remaining time it will be inactive. That is what this within a defined time period will do. Same like, for example, you have the Amazon's great festival, right? Great Indian Festival, which is active only during Dasara time, Diwali time, like that. Same thing applies here also. Whenever the system time reaches this, then it will start enabling this. That's a GMT, right? Pega systems has a GMT format, right? So when it reaches this time, it will enable this, and when it reaches this time, it will um, disable it after this. So this will be active only during this particular time period. Okay. So this option is also there for our propositions, because some offers we need to send only during certain time, that you can do by using this time period option. Clear? Any questions still here? Okay. Yeah. So that is what we have seen. Before we go further, we will cover one important thing, which is the SR class. So, till now, we are creating the business issue, we are creating the business group, we are creating the propositions, we are creating the attributes in that propositions. But where are we creating? What is the class structure? In which class we are creating? Right? That we need to see, right? So, let us discuss on that part today. So, whenever you are creating some rule on the case type, where you will create it in the work class, right? And if you are creating some integration related rule, you will keep it in the int rule set, right? The same way for Pega decisioning, we have a separate class is there, separate class structure is there, that is called SR class. Okay, that is called SR class. So what is that SR class? So SR class, which stands for the name called strategy result. SR stands for strategy result class. Okay. So just like how you are creating your case types in work class, integration rules in integration class, for Pega decisioning, we will be creating the rules under SR class. So what is the SR class? SR class stands for strategy result class. So this class is automatically created, okay, automatically created when you create the first business issue in your application. Okay, that means you don't need to create this manually. So when you go to the configure, decisioning, decisions, proposition management, here in your development application, you will not have anything, but in your Pega decisioning application, whenever you created the first business issue, right? For example, let us say acquire is the first business issue. Whenever you created the acquire, then automatically this SR class will be created in the backend when you create the first business issue in your application. So how does the format will be when the SR class will be created? So the format of the SR class will be the application ID dash SR dash business issue dash business group. That is how the format will be. Application ID dash SR dash business issue dash business group. Okay, so that is how it will be. So whenever you create the first business issue, automatically this class will be created. So Now in our case it will be CDH dash SR dash grow dash credit cards. That means when you did not create the business issue, it will be like this: CDH dash SR dash grow or CDH dash SR dash acquire, like this. Then when you created the business groups, then it will have like this dash credit cards. So always remember, the SR class structure will be like this only. That is the application ID dash SR dash business issue dash business group. Now coming to our class, right? It will be CDH dash SR dash grow dash credit cards. This is how it will be. So just simply you can go to your application ID. You see, this is our application ID on the top, CDH, right? That is the application ID. So just simply you type that CDH dash SR. If you just type it, you can see all the business issues are there here. Okay, so you see this, every time you create one business issue, one class will be created automatically. Under the business issue, if you are creating some groups, and again under that class some classes will be created like this. You see, I created acquire, so then I have CDH dash SR dash acquire automatically created. Under that acquire, we have created some business groups: auto loans, credit cards, all these things. You can see those are also created here: auto loans, credit cards, deposit accounts, all these are created. So like this, by default, when you created the business issues and business groups, automatically this class structure will be created. Now I have created some properties under grow credit cards, right? Like the monthly MI, credit card starting fee. So they will be present under here. You see, CDH dash SR dash grow dash credit cards. If you expand the credit card, you see, this is where the properties will be present. So you see, all these properties are here. Yeah. So you see the properties: credit card, monthly fee, monthly MI. This is what we have created. So everything that you are creating will automatically go under SR class. SR stands for strategy result. See, all these things you have to remember. There is no other option. This business issue is PY issue, business group is PY group, proposition is PY name, and this will be present in SR class. All these things you have to remember. As you practice and as you go further, you will always remember these things. Okay, clear till here? So again, the inheritance will be same like PEGA development only. Okay, inheritance like pattern inheritance. Okay, that means CDH dash SR dash grow dash credit card. Credit cards is the child of grow. Grow is the child of SR, like that. Same like your PEGA development, the class inheritance will be directed parent and pattern parent. Same thing.
Uh,
Same thing will be there.
Harsha,
Yeah.
Harsha, where can we see the propositions under this class structure?
Yeah, the propositions will also be here. For example, um, so under credit cards, so we have created the propositions under credit cards, right? So, so whenever you create a group, so just like when you are creating this business issue, how the SR class is created, whenever you create a business group, one rule will be created which is called decision data. So I'll tell you this in the later sessions. What is that? It will not be easy to understand now. I'll tell you this later. But
Okay.
all your propositions will be under decision data. Okay.
Later.
So when you are
Got it.
creating a business group, one separate rule will be created which is called decision data. Even if you can see here also decision data records for this particular, like that it's mentioned. So it will be present under decision data. So you see, this is where it is there. Decision data. Okay.
Got it.
Yeah. So the properties will be here and the decision data will be here. So that's what you can see here. Same thing for other things also. You created something under acquire credit cards. So then you can open acquire credit cards and you can see what is there in that. So like that, everything will be there under SR class structure only, which is the strategy results. This is a separate class for PEGA decisioning only. Okay, entire PEGA decisioning rules will be present under SR class only. Okay, and these classes are automatically created when you are creating the business issues and business groups. Automatically the classes will be created. Okay, so SR stands for strategy result class. So that's what we have seen. So this is our class structure, current class structure. Now just like how you have, for example, you have some PEGA development happening. For example, you created some loan form, right? ABC dash something like work, ABC dash, like this your class structure will be there in PEGA decisioning, in PEGA development, right? Now for all these classes, the parent will be what? Work dash, right? If you are creating some integration classes, the parent will be something like int dash. For your data types, the parent will be data dash. Same way, for all the SR classes, the parent is data dash px strategy result. This is the parent class. This is a parent class of all the PEGA decisioning SR classes, you can say. Just like how you have work dash for all the work classes, data dash class for all the data classes, same way for all the SR classes, the parent is data dash px strategy result. So all your this property, right, which we are discussing, the py name, py group, py issue, py channel, so all these properties will be present in this class only. Okay, so if you just right click here also, there then also you can see, for example, I right click here, then I see the view inheritance here. I can see here data dash px strategy result, you see, and again this is inheriting from data dash, and of course our topmost class is at the red base class only. But you can see here, right, data dash px strategy result. So this data dash px strategy result is the class which is the parent of all the SR classes. And your properties, this OOTP properties we discussed, right, py name, py group, py issue, all these are present in this class only. Okay, all these are present in this class only, right? This is the parent of all the decisioning classes. Okay, is it clear? Any, is it like overload? Are we going fast? Let me know. Okay, clear till here? Any questions? Okay, so shall we recap or shall we go to the next topic? If you want, I can recap again so that you don't remember, you don't forget it. Okay, so let us understand once again what we discussed today. So we have seen the bulk import and bulk export. That means, for example, if you are creating the propositions in real time, you will not create one by one, because there can be hundreds of propositions, thousands of propositions is also possible, but generally it will be like hundreds of propositions will be there. So generally, when you are updating them, you can basically export the file, open the Excel file, and then you can update the fields. Like we have the PY issue for business issue, PY group for business group, PY name for the proposition name. So directly you can open that, and in the custom properties will also come in that. Okay, for example, if you open export this, whatever the custom properties that I created, right, that monthly fee, right, credit card monthly fee, that will also come here. Directly you can update that here. Okay, so you see this is the one, right, credit card monthly fee, and this is a monthly MI. Whatever we have added, same thing is displaying here. So you can update the custom properties also directly here. So like this, you can bulk export and bulk update the propositions and import them. And you can create the characteristics of the proposition, right? For example, you are promoting a laptop. What is the price of the laptop? What is the color of the laptop? What is the model of the laptop? So you will create some separate properties here. This is where you will create the properties. Okay, so once you added the properties, then you can again you can do during bulk export from the Excel also you can update, or you can open one by one proposition, and here also you can add the data. Okay, here also you can add the data. So you might be getting one doubt when we are adding the field. Let us say I need to do a selection. Instead of giving a text input, let us say there is a field that is something called credit card applicable country. Okay, let us say this is there is a requirement where you need to select, like some credit cards are applicable only for India, some credit cards are applicable only for Australia. How do I do that selection instead of hard coding like this? So for that, we have to create a custom form. So whenever you add a field here, that field will always be a static, that's a text input. It will always be a scalar property, which is a text input. But if you want to use some custom controls like a drop down. Okay, I want to use a drop down. I want to use a checkbox. All these things you can do it in the custom form only. So let us do that. So what I'm saying, I'm just saying use the custom form, and I'm saying customize the form. Because there can be some advanced requirements also, right, where you need to select a checkbox. You need to select the country from the drop down, like this country is applicable for this credit card, like that. Or sometimes you need to add the image also to the propositions. So for all that, the solution is to create a custom form. That's what you have to do. So that is what we are doing now. I just clicked on the customize the form, and I'm going to add my fields here. Okay, so I just click on the checkout. So we will take a drop down. See, again, all these things you know already, because the sections and controls you have used it so many times in your application. So I don't need to specify all these things, right? Okay. So what I'm doing, I'm saying add a text input. That's what I'm doing. Not text input, sorry. I'll just add a drop down. So all these things you already know. So I'm not focusing on explaining those things. But I'm just telling you the choice is yours. All the things you can add, whatever images, controls, everything you can add it here based on the requirement. So I'm saying a field called credit card applicable country, which is a drop down. That is what I'm adding here. It's an advanced control. So I'm just creating a new field that is called credit card applicable country. So all these are the attributes that we are creating for a proposition, which is nothing but the characteristics of the proposition. Keep it in the rules rule set and create. So let us keep it as text, and here I'll say local list, and here I'll give the values. For example, I'll give something like some three countries. I'll give USA, Australia, and I'm saying like, for example, USA. That's what I'm keeping. Okay, so that's it. So now we'll just submit this and check in this. Okay, that's it. And now let us go back and start updating the propositions. Of course, generally you have to create the properties first, then you have to update the propositions. We are doing reverse, that's fine. So I'm just opening the proposition, and you can see I'm getting the field. You see, credit card applicable country, I'm keeping it as India. So let us say I'm just keeping the second one applicable for Australia. This third proposition I'm keeping applicable for Australia, I'm keeping. Okay, and let us say the fourth and fifth I'll keep for USA. So that's what I'm doing here. So like this, you can add the custom controls also, like the drop downs. You can add images, checkboxes, autocomplete, radio buttons, all those things that you use in section. All those things you can add it here. Okay, but one important thing that you need to remember when you are using custom form is whatever the properties that you are using in the custom form, those properties you need to make sure that they are added here also. Otherwise, they cannot be used outside the decision data. Outside the group, you cannot do. So we have created one property, right? That's a credit card applicable country. So when you are created that property, you make sure that you add the property here also. Otherwise, this property will not come outside. That means you cannot use this property outside this group. That means while promoting, this property will not come. Okay, while promoting, this property will not be displayed, and you cannot use this property. Every property that you create has to be added in the form tab. Okay, has to be added in the form tab. So even if you create in the section also, whatever you created, just add it here also. Then only you can use this property. Otherwise, you cannot use that property. Okay, clear till here whatever we discussed. So basically what we have done today, we have seen the different properties which are there. That's a PY name, PY issue, PY group. Then we have exported this and uploaded some new proposition at bulk. Then we have seen the custom attributes, like we have created two attributes here, and one attribute we have created as a drop down in the custom form. Then we have added the same field here also. Then we have seen the SR class, which is nothing but the strategy result class. So this class is automatically created when you create at least one business issue. In this proposition management, by default, nothing will be there in your real-time project for the first time. When you create first business issue, this class will be automatically created with the format as cdh-sr-business issue name. So like that, as you create the business groups and everything, automatically it will form the structure. Like this, it will form CDH dash business CDH dash SR dash business issue dash business group. That is how the class structure will be automatically created. And the parent of all the SR class will be data dash PH strategy result. This class only contains all these OOTB properties which we are going to discuss. The PY name, PY group, all these things are there in this class only. This is the parent of all the SR classes that you create. So that is what we have seen today, and we have seen the rule sets, types of rule sets, the artifacts rule set and NBAD tests. So tomorrow we'll see one practical example where we use the artifacts rule set and the NBAD tests also. Both of them we'll see. Okay. So artifacts rule set, all the auto generated rules by default they will go here only. NBAD tests, if you are doing some testing for something for testing purpose, you can keep that in the NBAD tests. Clear? Any questions?
Yeah, Harsha, I have a question.
Yeah.
So let's take an example. If I have to update the values under these properties which we created on a monthly basis, so every time I have to come here and update it manually, or there's another way to update the values?
Okay, so again, you will be doing the same thing. Every time you have to do on a monthly basis. You can write a job scheduler if you are quite comfortable how to open the decision data and update the values. You can write a job scheduler and do that. Okay, but you need to know
Understood.
like what is a decision data class name, right? You have to browse through this class. Then you have to identify this exact group, right? Like under grow credit cards group, you need to identify, right? And then you need
Right.
to obj browse and get the results, and you need to set like that. Also, you can do. Okay,
Understood.
because this is
Yeah.
part of decision data. You need to know like which class instance this decision data is there. You can do
Right.
that way,
Right.
right? Using job scheduler also you can do.
Understood.
Okay.
And one more thing, yesterday when I created a business issue, business groups, and a proposition through Dev Studio, I was not able to see the same thing on the CDH side. It was not reflecting on the CDH side.
Right, right. That is the difference in the actions and propositions. Okay. Yeah, we'll come to that. Okay, we'll come to that in the coming.
Okay, okay, understood.
So CDH will only display the actions which are there, not the propositions. Okay.
Not
So the
even, not
difference
even.
is when you create a proposition, actions will not be created. But when you create an action, a proposition will be created. So the CDH business taxonomy only displays the actions which are there. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. We will come to that. We'll
understood.
come to that in the coming sessions.
Got it.
Yeah. So just till here, whatever we discussed, please practice, practice, and practice, and please enroll by today. I think today will be the last demo session. Please enroll, and so that you will be getting the assignment and the exercises. All those things you'll be getting.
Sure.
Yes, this is Naveen. I joined the first day today.
Yeah.
Regarding the course curriculum, I mean to say, are you going to cover with
Yeah, yeah.
examples
You
of
can
the
check with
models?
the organizer. They will share it to you.
Okay, I got the course curriculum, but I
Oh,
have
that's good.
a doubt in that.
Okay.
The predictive and adaptive models are there, right? Are you going to cover with some
Yes, yes.
real time scenario
Yes.
and
Correct. We are going to cover with some real-time scenario. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Be with
after
confident. Definitely, we'll cover all the things with real-time like that only.
okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, please go ahead and enroll today. It might be the last demo session, and you will be getting the exercises, recordings, PPTs, everything to your inbox. So make sure that you enroll before tomorrow and join. Yeah. Thank you all. So we'll see you
Harsha,
tomorrow. We'll continue.
one question, Harsha. Like in the marketing area, like I've been recently seeing they are using Adobe and all. Like I don't see that's part of the curriculum.
Yeah, whatever is not part of curriculum, we can provide you some links or guidance with some
Okay,
data. Okay.
sure.
Like if you need some custom topics, you can let us know. We'll try
Mhm.
to find some articles and some data for that. Okay, I'll share that to you.
Okay, sure, Harsha. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so let us continue tomorrow, and you will be added to the group once you enroll. So please go ahead and enroll. Thank you all.